Hello, welcome to Toadstool Tarot. Today we're talking rattles. Let me start with a quote from one of my favorite books, Alice in Wonderland. Tweedledum and Tweedledee agreed to have a battle, for Tweedledum said Tweedledee had spoiled his nice new rattle. Just then flew down a monstrous crow as black as a tar barrel, which frightened both the heroes so they quite forgot their quarrel. According to Wikipedia, in ancient Egypt, rattles were used during funerary rituals to signify regeneration in the afterlife. Rattles were viewed as sacred and became the forerunners of the sistrum. Earliest Egyptian rattles were ovular and made of pottery. During the pre-dynastic and Old Kingdom periods, rattles gained handles and different shapes and were made out of different materials such as basket, wood, and stone. Native American people often use rattles in ceremonial dances. Oftentimes, these rattles are meant to represent something. Each figure or depiction can relate to something sacred to their tribe. Often the sound of rattles forms a connection to the supernatural world when the rattles are employed by shamans. So, I discussed a little bit in an earlier video about my sometimes work in a local shamanic circle. But sometimes I just use rattles in my own private practice. And I'm going to share with you the collection that I have. I use them rhythmically during meditation and contemplation to focus on subconscious elements that might come to mind, but also in accord with my breath rate and heart rate. If you have issues with breathing or heart-related issues, there's something, a phenomena I believe called intonation. I'm not sure if I have the right word. You can find that through Jonathan Goldman's researches. But it has to do with when you set up a regular rhythm, the body or things around that rhythm adjust to that rhythm. So if you set up a slower, regular beat, your heart is apt to get in sync with that beat. You might notice that when you're dancing in a club and there's like a fast dance beat and you dance and your heart is pumping, so many beats per minute. They also discovered by setting up a room full of metronomes and starting them at different times that at some point during the course of their rhythms they all adjusted to one another and beat in rhythm. So that's interesting. I'm going to show you, this is one of my first rattles. I got it at a drum shop back in the early 80s when I was in a band and needed some percussion. I think it's made of tin or aluminum, and I believe it was made in Africa. Not really sure. Here's another one. Wooden handle, probably aluminum or tin. This is a maraca that I bought and sanded off the imagery and took a marker and added my own imagery. It's, figures that I've painted or drawn on there. Figures in dance, leaping, praying, running, jumping, and there's a sort of a sun energy on there as well. This is another rattle that I made from a walnut and a chopstick. It's tiny and it's got some little beads in it. Doesn't make much sound, but it's hand fashioned. This is one I bought in an occult shop. It's made out of a gourd. I'm not sure where it was made. I believe South America. I am not sure. But I love the kind of horn shape, and it has a gentle but nice sound to it. It's got seeds inside, I believe. These are two rattles that I use sometimes in the circle. The first one I got was sort of a holiday rattle, wooden rattle with bells. And then later I found one around Pride with a rainbow on it and bells. Different tone to the bells. Which brings me to what I referenced before, sistrums, or they're sistra, I believe is the plural. Sistrum is singular. These were originated in Egypt, I believe, and this is sort of a traditional shape sistrum. I spent a lot of money for this, and I like the design of it. I'm not that crazy about the fashioning or the sound of it. They just bent some brass and put some washers on there. But the idea is you shake it back and forth and the elements glide from side to side and shake things up. This is one from a music store, similar idea, bangles from a tambourine, but it's set up like a sistrum. Has a better sound than the other one. Here's one I bought that was made in Africa. It's like wicker, and the little bangles are made from hammered pop bottle caps, which I thought was interesting. It has a real nice sound to it. The last one I ordered off Etsy from a handcrafter in Latvia, and it's a baby rattle, but it is a sistrum. It's handmade little wooden rattle. And since it's so small and portable, I often take this and put it in a medicine bag if I go to my shamanic circle. Also reminds me of a rattlesnake's rattle, which I don't have any of, but maybe at some point I will. So that's my rattle collection, and maybe you have elements you use in your spiritual practices that you'd like to share, little objects or musical elements. At some point I might share my harp, psalteries, and lyres. Today it was just rattles, percussion rattles, but used more in meditation, shamanic journeying, and so forth. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time on Toadstool Tarot. Don't forget to like if you liked the video, subscribe if you're not already, and click the bell for updates. See you soon. Bye-bye.